Hello, and welcome back to Talking Planning. Today, I'm back on the train, which is more difficult to do than a bus review, but also scores more virtual points on the internet. This time, it's an IMU160, which is the interurban derivative of the SMU260, which I reviewed a little while ago. So let's recap what I've caught so far and what's left to go. I've already reviewed the EMU, ICE, IMU100, SMU220, SMU260 and the NGR, which for the main types of train would make this the last episode. But, because virtual internet points are apparently important, YouTube calls them subscribers and likes, I've decided to do this properly. Keep your eyes peeled for a couple more train reviews later, and let's jump on board this IMU160. Alrighty, so this review of the IMU160 isn't starting quite so smoothly. We've got a points delay, so we're going to be stuck here for a little bit. So I'll show you around whilst we're stopped quickly. Being an interurban multiple unit, the first key feature is behind that door, a toilet. Once I pan the camera around, looking back, it looks remarkably like its cousin, the SMU260. There is one other key difference, those luggage racks located near the doors, which are handy for suitcases and large bags. If you've already watched my review on the SMU260, you'll be pretty familiar with most of the interior on this train. Just a few minor differences like those luggage racks I just showed you and the fact that you've actually got a toilet, which apparently QR believes is enough to use these on long distance services, despite the fact they've still got the same uncomfortable seats. But hey, could be worse.
The next station is Fortitude Valley. Customers are advised the central station lifts on platforms 1, 2 and 3, 4 are closed from major upgrade.
Apart from those two features, there is little to separate the two trains inside. In fact, the IMU160 and SMU260 are interoperable. And it's actually quite common to see the two types paired together. So, if you're travelling with a suitcase or you think you might need to use the loo, look out to see if one end of the train is an IMU. Much like the SMU260, you get the same firm seats, the same door buttons, the same information screens, and the same emergency help points. Apart from the loo and the luggage, they're basically the same. Since there are so many similarities, let's talk history because that probably is a little more interesting. The first IMU160 entered service in 2007, first operating on the Gold Coast line. For many years, the IMU160 was a common sight on Gold Coast trains, but over time the NGR has taken its place. Nowadays, they're basically used whenever required, like the SMU260. Also, like the SMU260, they are remarkably similar in appearance to the Transperth B series. Like almost any public project, there were some teething problems with the rollout. During testing, it was discovered that the air conditioning units were a centimetre too wide to clear the loading gauge. After a wee bit of machining, the trains were ready to go, albeit 1 centimetre narrower at the top than when they were delivered. Once entering service, they got set to work, being the rolling stock of choice for Gold Coast and airport services until the NGRs arrived. The IMU160 was quite quickly replaced on Gold Coast operations, and this became a trend across almost all the network, with the Beenleigh line being a notable exception, where the IMU160 and SMU260 are still the newest trains you'll see. Let's cue the music and go for a bit of a ride on board this IMU160.
train terminates at Roma Street. All customers, please exit the train on arrival at Roma Street. Queensland Rail would like to remind customers to take all personal possessions when you leave the train. For security reasons, please do not leave personal possessions unattended.
Today's journey was only a short ride between Bowen Hills and Roma Street, but now that we are nearing Roma Street, I think it's about time to wrap up this review. But before I go, I know that you're probably a big fan of train reviews, so make sure to like this video and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Alrighty.
All customers, please exit the train.
Come on. Just waiting for the door button to go. Come on. There we go. That was a quick review of the IMU160. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you again soon.